Hey guys, welcome to another top list, favorite list. Welcome to my top 30 favorite video games of all time as of now of 2022. I did a top list of this a long time ago, back in like 2018, I think. I wasn't huge into gaming then. I used to be when I was younger, but I stopped gaming for a long time. But I got back into it over the past, like, I'd say 3, 4 years. Played so many games, so my list has completely changed. Some of these games I grew up with, some of these games I've played over the past few years, and some of these games I just forgot were amazing. Hey, Wieners. Sorry, I got the kitty here. Just these are just personal favorites. There's not about like the best games. These are just 30 games that I love so much, and just they mean something to me. And yeah, you can't judge too much on someone's favorites, but And again, I haven't played every video game of all time. There are a lot of huge, big games out there I have not played. And again, this list can change, orders can change over the years. Maybe this will be like a every 4 or 5 years kind of list, just like what I did with my favorite movies. Like, opinions change, orders for movies and games all change, so let's get to it. Coming at number 30 is one of the greatest fighting games of all time, Tekken 3. Tekken 3 is a game I grew up with. I love Tekken 3. It's the best like tournament style fighting, one-on-one fighting games. I love it. I love the Tekken franchise. There's two fighting franchises I have huge soft spot for. That is Tekken and Mortal Kombat. No Mortal Kombat games on this top list, but definitely if I made a top 50, there'd be a couple Mortal Kombat games in there. Kind of like Mortal Kombat Deception or Deadly Alliance or even the 2009 one. That was a great one. But Tekken 3 is amazing. It had brought in all the good characters, all the great modes, and just it was childhood for me, and I just have so much good memories. Having tournament styles with friends and family, playing Tekken. I love Tekken, and it's just a personal favorite. Number 29 is a JRPG called Chrono Trigger for the PS1. I'm still angry you can't get this on the PS4 or PS5, and I really want there to be a remake. They did sequel. Sequel was fine, but Chrono Trigger is an amazing JRPG video game with great landmarks, great protagonist, a great and epic story. We should get a petition to get a remake for this super good game. Number 28 is a more modern one, and that is God of War 2018. I think this is the best game of 2018. Kind of. there's another game that's like right there with it, but I love God of War. I love the whole franchise of God of War. God of War 1, 2, and 3 were great. But this new God of War took God of War to a whole new place, whole new story. Took out the Greek mythology, now we're into the Norse mythology, and it's awesome. The story is fantastic. The story of Kratos and his son is great. Their relationship is freaking great. It's very funny too. The bosses you have to fight, the gods you have to fight in this are great. The side characters are great. And it's actually a challenging game too, so you actually feel like you accomplished something truly great when you beat a really hard level. So yeah, I love God of War 2018. I always thought God of War 3 was the best, but when this one came out, I was like, bam, new favorite God of War. Number 27 is another modern game, that is Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is just a perfect samurai game. I love the story of Jin Saki and the journey he has to go on as the ghost and the path he has to choose, the loyalties he has to pick, and just, oh yeah. I love it. I love the open world map of this. It's a map that's not like too big, but it's not like too small. You can like explore everything, but also you can explore anything in a decent time. That is not going to take you like 80 hours to explore everything. It's a good enough map for you to explore the world, get all the side quests done and everything. Just, yeah, I love it. Visually, it's amazing. Characters are fantastic, and just, they should have won Game of the Year, not shitty ass Last of Us 2. Number 26 is my favorite Call of Duty. That's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is one of the best Call of Duties. of all time. I think it is actually the greatest Call of Duty game of all time. But we're going favorites here. 2019 Call of Duty is my favorite. It's my favorite campaign. It has my favorite multiplayer. It brought Warzone to all of us. So I think it was just more of a landmark and just a lot more exploration for Call of Duty. And just it was just something truly huge. And I don't think you could ever beat what the 2019 Modern Warfare did. And I think it's a brilliant game. I think it has a great war story with a great message, with great characters, and it brings characters back from the previous Modern Warfare. And again, I think Call of Duty 4 is the best story, and I think it's the best Call of Duty game. But I think 2019 is my favorite, and it's one of my favorite games of all time, easily. Number 25 is Tomb Raider Anniversary. This is just an OG Tomb Raider, just done more beautiful and more grander and visually appealing way. I loved this game. I had this game for the PS2, and I always played it, and I have so many great memories playing Tomb Raider Anniversary. And there's a lot of Tomb Raiders I wanted to put on here. I wanted to put Tomb Raider 1 and 2 on here. I wanted to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider on here. Even the 2013 Tomb Raider. There's a lot of Tomb Raiders I love to death, but Tomb Raider Anniversary, to me, is a personal favorite. Number 24 is Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS2. Okay, I'll flat out say the Battlefront 2 remake for the PS4 is good. It started off really bad, but it got much better, and I still really enjoyed the game. Battlefront 1 remake, garbage. But Battlefront 2 for the PS2 is just perfect. I love how they did the heroes versus villains. I love the instant action, the galactic conquests. I love it's all to the point of view of the stormtroopers. And again, just good memories. Like me and my cousin used to play this all the time. And just, I had a blast playing this game when I was younger, even up till now. When I do retro gaming with some family, we always pop this in with like Tekken 3 in this game and stuff. Like, memories here. Childhood memories. And Battlefront 2, I think, is the best Star Wars game ever made. For me. That's just my opinion. Alright, coming in number 23 is Crash Team Racing. I can go both versions. They're both pretty much the same game. It's just a remastered version of Nitro Fuel Kart. And just it has like online stuff and new tracks and stuff. But yeah, again, childhood. Again, when I do retro gaming, we put the PS1 version of Crash Team Racing. We have like tournaments with friends and family and stuff. But the remake, Nitro Fuel, was fucking great. Playing with modern visuals, with the beautiful animation colors, and playing online against online people, and these amazing new tracks was just so awesome. Just, I love Crash Team Racing, and I'm a huge Crash Bandicoot fan, so of course this had to be on the list. And again, speaking of Crash Bandicoot, number 22 is Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. I could have easily just went with a random Crash Bandicoot game that just means something to me, but I went the entire Insane Trilogy because it's literally 1, 2, and 3, and it's a full-on remake of them, and it's just the best way to play Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 were great childhood nostalgic games that I loved. Great platforming, simple story, simple premise, break some boxes, and rescue Coco. I love it. Love Crash, Neo Cortex, Aku Aku, Dingle Dial, Tiny Tiger, End Trophy, all of them. Cruella Kong, I love these characters and I just love the world of Crash Bandicoot. The Insane Trilogy just showed you how difficult these games were, but also how fucking fun they were. Love Crash Bandicoot. If we're going to talk about Crash Bandicoot, though, number 21, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Spyro is just one of the most playable games. It's the most approachable game I think almost ever made. Anybody can play a Spyro game and know what they're doing and have fun with it. Like, I played Spyro throughout my entire childhood and still to this day play Spyro. The Reignited Trilogy is, like, this is how you do a remake. You lighten up the visuals, but you don't change anything. If it's perfect, don't change the story. Just make the visuals more modern and more colorful and bright and vibrant. That's what the Reignited Trilogy did. The Reignited Trilogy is absolutely stunning. I've beaten all 3 Spyro games 6 or 7 times on the Reignited Trilogy, and I could still play it again and just explore the whole world. It never, ever gets boring for me. I love Spyro. Huge Spyro fan. Not as big as Spyro fan is. Lindsay, but number 20 is one of the best horror video games ever made, and that's Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2, again, I can go either or. The remake was fantastic, I will flat out say. I think I can maybe even go with the remake. Leon S. Kennedy, Claire Redfield, some of my favorite Resident Evil characters. I love the two different point of views of these characters they're exploring through Raccoon City and trying to survive this apocalypse. It's so good. And just one's in a police station, one's in the city realms, and how they connect together, and they're just trying to find what Umbrella Corporation was doing and stuff, and how this all started. Resident Evil 2 is just amazing atmosphere, great music, and great characters, and just this is a horror game done brilliantly. I think it's one of the best horror games ever made. Number 19 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Knuckles. I love some Sonic. Sonic is a great game. This was always my favorite. I played these games like on the Sega and stuff, and I loved playing Sonic 3. Sonic 1 and 2 were always good, but I always found them that as fun as they were a bit rushed and a bit, I don't know, a little too fast-paced, no pun intended. But Knuckles 3 actually had a story. It brought my favorite character of Knuckles in. It actually created a little bit of lore, and it created actually a plot to the game. It's not just a hedgehog running around collecting coins and beating Robotnik. This is actually, like, there's some story, there's some stakes to it, and they put some twists and turns on it, and it kind of changed the entire Sonic franchise forever, and it was incredible. And yeah, I love it. Number 18 is The Last of Us. The very first Last of Us is a brilliant, masterful game. I've talked a lot about The Last of Us. I don't know what else I could say, but it's a great, beautiful story about Joel and Ellie just trying to survive on the zombie apocalypse. The opening of this game is just so strong and so heavy. The ending is so deep and profound. Joel and Ellie are that they do so many unlikable things in the game, but they're so likable and so human. You understand all these decisions these characters make, and it's a fascinating story, very well written, and it's always captivating and intense to play. I love it. I do not like the sequel, but anyways, number 17, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Wow, what a banger of a sequel. The first Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, was a great Uncharted game, but Among Thieves comes out swinging even harder and just much better. The guns, the ammo, the story, the villain is awesome. The opening with the plane, oh my god, just everything about Uncharted 2 is bigger, better, and just funnier, and just going on the story with Nathan Drake is always a blast. I love Uncharted 2. And speaking of Uncharted, number 16 is Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I think this is a brilliant conclusion to the Nathan Drake story. I think this is the best Uncharted game. I love its visuals. I love its story with Nathan and his brother Sam. Again, a great villain, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a decent length, but never too much. The Easter eggs to other Naughty Dog games was also really good. Action, story, all done brilliantly. Uncharted 4 is a perfect send-off to the Uncharted franchise. Alright, number 15, we're running into some Mario. Number 15, Super Mario World. Super Mario World was childhood again, playing this on the Nintendo, the SNES. It's just so good. This is when you got Yoshi, you got the cool golden cape, and going through the platforming rounds. Like, I had a blast playing this. I played this on repeat on my Nintendo system. I loved playing the Super Mario World. I always enjoyed the classic, the Mario games and stuff. Mario 1 and, well, 2 sucked, but first Mario game, I love that, how iconic the first game was, but Super Mario World, again, was a game changer, but not the best. Number 14 is probably the best. That's Super Mario Galaxy. Galaxy is just, still to this day, it's not dated, it's visually appealing, great world, great platforming. It has a great story. Bowser's a great, intimidating force in this game. I love it. Playing this on the Wii was amazing. Playing it again on the Switch, even more amazing. So good. All right, number 13, Red Dead Redemption. John Marston. Red Dead Redemption was another game changer when this came out for the PS3. Brilliant game. Making an entire open world cowboy western video game. Just it was brilliantly done and brilliantly structured with a great lead character, a very big, grand, epic story, putting online multiplayer into it as well, and having such a dark and fucked up ending as well. Red Dead Redemption was just groundbreaking for Rockstar. I was never a huge GTA fan. I'll flat out say that. I think GTA has a lot of greatness in them, but I was never a GTA fan. I was never a Grand Theft Auto guy. But playing Red Dead Redemption made me a fan of Rockstar. Because I always thought Rockstar was just Grand Theft Auto. But when I played Red Dead Redemption, I'm like, okay, you got my attention. Then they got my attention again, because number 12 is Red Dead Redemption 2. And I know this is not a popular opinion, saying the Red Dead Redemption 2 is better. Because a lot of people will say, hell no. But I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. I think its only flaw, it's too long. I agree. I think it's a little too long. But I like Arthur Morgan more than John Marston. Sorry. I love John Marston. Arthur Morgan's just more brutal. He's more direct, and I love his attitude and shit. And I love that you're playing more of the rogue side of it, and I love its kind of connections to the first Red Dead Redemption. The side quests are just much more fun, and the online multiplayer was just much crisper. It's kind of shit now, but when it came out, it was just amazing. I don't know, I just had a lot more feeling towards Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's just my opinion. Number 11, something that means a lot to me because I played this game with the love of my life, and that's It Takes Two. It Takes Two is a very new game, but I loved it so much playing with Lindsay, exploring this world, this beautiful platforming world about marriage, building your relationship. I love It Takes Two. I've played this game twice now. Me and Lindsay played it twice. We play as the male and the female, then we switch the genders, and I play as the female, and she plays as the male. It was great. I love it. It's just so it's going to be a timeless game. It's going to be remembered as one of the best video games ever made. And I love like A Way Out. That was a great game too. But It Takes Two it puts so many different genres. Like it's a platformer, but then becomes like a dungeon crawler, a mage game, first person shooter, and like it puts all these different genres into this game. The entire game is about fixing this marriage, and it's a very beautiful story. It's funny, it's romantic, it's a blast to play. It's one of the best video games you'll play. Alright, number 10, Final Fantasy X. I did that on purpose, I know. But Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Final Fantasy X has probably the best story for me. I love the story about this young man. He's from the future. Well, no, technically he's from the past, and he goes 1,000 years into the future, and he meets these different people, and there's like this war, and the world has almost gone backward because the past was like more futuristic, but the future is like almost turned back, and it's almost like something out of medieval times and stuff. He has to protect this summoner, and he becomes her guardian with other guardians, and they have to end this tragedy because this monster named Sin is going to destroy the entire world, and they have to put an end to this. And a lot of great twists and turns in this game, a lot of creepy ass villains, amazing characters, and just it's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy X, one of the best games ever. Number 9, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I wanted to pick a Yakuza game. I haven't played them all, so that's why this list can change, because I haven't played all the Yakuza games. I played Yakuza 0, and I played the first Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. That's all I've played. I haven't played 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. I have not played those games yet. They're on my to-do list. But I played 0, 1, 2, and Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon is miles and miles better than all of those games. I thought 0 was good, but a bit overrated. I think it's good, but nowhere near as like some people like put it on there. First one, Yakuza Kiwami 1 was great. Second one was good too. Like a Dragon blew me away. Ichiban Kirigawa is an amazing lead character. He's probably my favorite lead character. This like street punk who wants to become like part of the Yakuza, and he becomes part of the small clan, and then he ends up going to prison for something he never did. And when he gets out 20 years later, everything's completely changed. The Yakuza doesn't want him anymore. Then he ends up on the street, and then he starts teaming up with this homeless man and this ex-police officer to help people and become like a vigilante, and eventually take down the Yakuza. What a great story. It's funny. It's amazing. Some of the best mini games, side quests are in this game. I adored this game. I loved this game. I literally think it's a masterpiece. And I can't wait to play all the Yakuza games so I can do a full-on ranking. But as of now, Yakuza Like a Dragon is not only my favorite Yakuza game, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. So good. Number 8, I'm going to completely cheat. I don't care. All 3 Kingdom Hearts games. I'm not going with the side games. No, I'm not counting them. They're their own thing. 1, 2, 3, all phenomenal fucking games. Great RPG games. They're JRPGs plus like Disney RPG games. I fucking love these games. I love Sora, Goofy, and Donald going through all these Disney realms. Some of the most fun I've ever had playing games. The first Kingdom Hearts, second Kingdom Hearts, and the third Kingdom Hearts. They're just amazing. I am excited for the fourth one. I don't know what they're doing with it, but if it's going to be as good as those first 3 games, which are all masterpieces in their own right, excited for the fourth one. All right, number 7 is the most underrated video game of all time, and it's called The Legend of Dragoon. The Legend of Dragoon is another JRPG, and to explain the story would take hours. All I gotta say is play this fucking game. It's incredible. Just saying. Number 6, Jak 2. Going right into the Jak and Dexter games. Jak 3, I think, is like the best Jak and Dexter game. And I think Jak and Dexter 1 is the funnest. I think Jak and Dexter is the most approachable. It's kind of like Spyro. It's a more approachable game and just more easier and simplistic game. Jak 3, I think, has the best like concept, better controls, better action. And I think just Jak's character is the best in Jak 3. Jak 2, I think, is a personal favorite now. I always thought Jak 3 was the best in my favorite. But upon replaying Jak 2, Jak 2 is just so good. It almost becomes like an open world game. There's just so many layers to Jak 2. Jak and Dexter was just a simple like platforming fun adventure game. And then it gets like science fiction. They put like crazy twists in it. He's going to the future, meeting a past self and everything. The guns and crazy shaking in the game. Oh my god, just incredible game. And how we've not had another Jak and Dexter game is baffling to me, but Jak 2, I think, is one of the best games ever made. So good. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Well, of course, it's the greatest like open world game pretty much ever made. It's so fucking amazing. And I could have went with a lot of Zelda games. I didn't want to put too many Zelda games on here. Some of them were close though. I wanted to put like a link between worlds or Twilight Princess. Like those could have easily made the list, but Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece. Like you can put like 200 plus hours in this game and still haven't explored everything. The worlds, the realms, the weaponries, the bosses, everything you explore is incredible. And it's a game changer for Nintendo games. And I hate that it's still full price. That's really dumb, but masterpiece nonetheless. Number 4, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The greatest Assassin's Creed game, and the closest you'll ever get to a pirate simulation you'll ever see. It's fucking amazing. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, playing as Edward, amazing. I love the Assassin's Creed franchise. I think it's great. I guess you can debate 2 is the best, or Brotherhood, but I think Black Flag is a personal favorite. Playing on the pirate ship, teaming up with like Blackbeard and going on these like becoming a pirate to an assassin and everything. Just the character of Edward is the best character in Assassin's Creed, and just you get to play as a pirate, and it's just amazing. I know there's a new pirate game coming out, but it'll never be what Black Flag was. Anyways, number 3, Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect is an interesting franchise. First one, good game. Second one, best there is. 3, back to being a good game, not as good as that second one. Andromeda, trash. Mass Effect 2, though, is just amazing game. Like, and these are games I just played last year when all the remasters came out. Never played Mass Effect. I played the first one and I really enjoyed it, but I never thought like, oh, these are gonna be like some of my favorite games of all time. Then I played the second one. I'm like, holy shit, masterful. I had to play it again after I played the third and fourth one, and a little underwhelmed by that third and fourth one. The third one was not bad, but that fourth one was cool. But I had to play the second one again, and it's so good. They bring in all these characters, and it could have easily backfired on them and just made too many characters. But no, every character is incredible. They're all likable, and they all have their own story, and just especially like Garrus and Thane and just Miranda and just all these people. And you get to go on little quests, Jacob and all of them. Like you get to go on quests with all of them and learn all about these characters. It's incredible. It's incredible. And there's just the whole story of Mass Effect 2, which is amazing. You could have the dark ending or the good ending, either or. Oh, it's so good. So good. Mass Effect 2 is a good character story, but it's also a great like shooter game. It's a great sci-fi game with a great, profound story. Mass Effect 2, amazing. All right, number 2. Now we're going real different. Number 2, Rainbow Six Siege. We're going right to a straight online multiplayer game. I went with Siege because this is the game I probably put the most hours in any game I've ever played, ever. I think I have 300 plus hours on this game. This is just my go-to game. I had to put it at number 2 because this is the game I play all the time. Like when I'm playing a story game, I go play Siege after. Or if I'm bored one day and I watch a movie, then after that, I play Siege. If me and Lindsay want to like team up on like an online multiplayer, we both play Siege together. Like Siege is the go-to game I play when I'm bored or when I want to play something fun. And Siege is the game. That's my go-to. I have to put it at number 2 because it's the game I've played the most out of any video game ever made. It's incredible. I love Siege. It's a great, like, strategic shooter game. Very strategic. It's not like playing Call of Duty. It's very different. You'll see when you play it. I love it, though. Number 1 hasn't changed. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII will always be my favorite game. I've talked a lot about Final Fantasy VII. I'm not putting the remake on. When the remake sequels are all done, I will change my answer. But till then, the original Final Fantasy VII, still my favorite. So yeah, that was my top 30 favorite video games of all time. So I hope you all enjoyed this. And let me know in the comment section below, what are your top 10, top 20, top 100 favorite video games of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the Ducks.